You know, the terms roguelike and roguelite have been thrown around constantly that nobody knows what it means anymore. You may hear people say nothing is a true roguelike anymore, everything is a roguelite. To throw even more confusion and chaos into the mix is an early access title called Streets of Rogue. Streets of Rogue is a top-down roguelite that has taken elements from Deus Ex and Grand Theft Auto mixed with gameplay from notable roguelikes such as The Binding of Isaac and Nuclear Throne. But instead of fighting in procedurally generated dungeons, you are instead placed in procedurally generated cities with various goals and objectives needed to get done to get to the next level. Many other staples of roguelites are featured, as well as including the all-divine permadeath. If I had to be honest though, there's so many elements in this game that it can become a new genre entirely, but let's not get ahead of ourselves and let's just take this one step at a time. So as soon as you begin, you learn that you are a new recruit for the resistance fighting against the government, the all-evil corporation. It sets up the fight, but honestly the story is not really important. It may be more fleshed out when it's complete, but at the moment it's just an afterthought. So the intro is pretty much a test, which is a tutorial. I used a controller the whole time, and honestly the controls were amazing, fantastic, and just felt perfect. It was a great start to a great game. After you're done with the tutorial, you're dropped into the base, given a somewhat of a tour, and then you need to select the class, which you only have a handful to start out, and the rest need to be unlocked by performing specific tasks. Honestly, this is my favorite part of the game, as all these classes are highly varied. So the first one I started out with was the Thief. You start out with a crowbar with some lockpicks and some window cutters. They're great for stealing as they have the ability to pickpocket pretty much anyone that's on the street, but unfortunately the shopkeepers don't want to deal with me, and I can't take a lot of hits, so I don't last very long. I eventually unlocked the gorilla and played as one, and they're ultra powerful as hell, especially in melee combat. They can also free and recruit other gorillas that they find. The problem is they can't speak human, so they weren't able to buy from the shopkeepers, and I couldn't bribe from the cops, so it was chaotic. As much fun as I had with the Thief and the gorilla, the top favorite I have is the assassin. The ability to camouflage and backstab after being invisible and still be invisible after you kill somebody with a backstab is amazing. It's just so easy to rack up multiple kills. Just look at me, just flawless executions. That's how you get it done. So I talked about the classes and everything, but what is this game actually about? What does it consist of? Well, the game is divided into 5 levels or worlds, however you want to call it, with 3 stages each. So you need to complete the objectives on each stage to move on to the next one, and completing a level takes you to a new type of locations. So for example, the first level, it contains the slums, while the second one is industrial, and the third is the park. It does a great job in varying up each level, as new levels introduce not only a new aesthetic, but also new hazards and obstacles to avoid. The objectives are pretty simple and straightforward. They vary from obtaining an item to destroying an object to neutralizing a target, flicking some switches, or to rescue somebody. The strengths is not in the variety of objectives, but it's the way you carry them out. The great aspect and secret to Streets of Rogue is that they can be accomplished in multiple ways. You can go guns a-blazing, you can use stealth and with the backstab, you can hire some goons to do the attack, you can be a crooked cop and just arrest everyone you see, or maybe just hack into the terminal, see if you can turn off the power. I mean, it's limitless in what you can do, and that's what makes this game so amazing. So many options, or screw it, if you don't want to do the objectives, just go fool around with the shopkeepers, cops, the civilians. I mean, I just had a blast just backstabbing shopkeepers and grabbing their items, hacking into their safes, and taking everything for myself. It was amazing. And again, everything you do does have a point, because whether or not you're lethal or non-lethal, you can gain experience. You acquire new traits only at the end of the stage, and it's randomized every time, so some are only beneficial only to certain classes, while others are just really preferred over everything else. Honestly, it's just the luck of the draw if you get good traits or not. So every 3 stages, it features a random event. This could be a riot, a zombie apocalypse, nuclear explosions, and bombs coming from the sky, and a bunch more. They all add to the insanity and randomness of what can happen. It keeps the stages interesting, and again helps to mix things up. So as expected, the difficulty is tough, but it's fair. You'll most likely die often, which is expected, but many deaths are really from your own dumb fault. Usually if you're not paying attention to traps, underestimating an enemy, being unprepared, like bringing a knife to a gunfight, and a bunch more can get you killed, but it's all on you. You're just being dumb. Now, as mentioned before, like every roguelike and roguelite, there is permadeath. However, you do unlock bonuses and benefits like new traits, rewards, and etc. from collecting chicken nuggets. You gain these from leveling up and completing various objectives, so every time you play you always feel like you can get a bit farther with a new weapon or maybe better rewards. Now, on the icing on this almost ready cake is that everything can be done in co-op. Up to 4 players, either online and local, can play together. Fortunately, I was able to grab a friend and we pretty much created the window knocking crew. He would knock on the window and I was the window knocking killer. So I would just come in as the assassin and go for the backstab, as you can see right here. And it was just amazing. A great strategy, and that's how we got far. Also, here's a clip of him killing himself with his own bomb trying to get an objective. I'm sorry, man. I had to do it to you. If I had to pick out one flaw with the multiplayer, it would be the transition from regular to split screen. It was this slow fade in, and it's just not very smooth compared to other games that do this, like Lego Star Wars and the like. There's honestly no reason to say this, but it's overall a great game, got a great concept, and plenty of content at the moment to keep you busy, with much more on the way. I mean, the 5th level is currently in development, so let's see what happens. And there's apparently going to be a big quest, maybe like a story quest to tie in all the stages together, so it'll be interesting to see. Honestly, it's great by yourself and a ton of fun in co-op. I'll support it. I'd recommend that everyone to go out and support it, even if you're not a fan of roguelites or roguelikes, if you're not a fan of rogue things. Alright, so I'm just gonna wrap this up because I want to go play Streets of Rogue now. It's amazing. Go out and support these guys, and I'm really looking forward to what happens. But take your time. If you want to make sure that this cake is the greatest of all time, I'm willing to wait. Thank you guys for watching as always. Please subscribe to my channel and follow me on Twitter. This is Powerhouse, signing off.